Single child-free women have to learn how to center themselves more than anybody. That means not centering other people's kids, not centering men, not centering your family, and not centering what patriarchy has taught you to put above yourself. The reason why I want to talk about this is one of my mutuals. I'm going to tag her. She's been doing amazing content this week, and she talks about this in general, especially in terms of like being an aunt. Okay, I don't want to have kids. I've never wanted to have kids. I'm never going to have kids. But it's really important to me to be a good aunt. Aunt Jackie on Roseanne was always my hero. I was like, I want to be that. Nothing more than that. Yet when it came down to making really important decisions, I finally had to make a really hard one as an aunt. So right before I decided to move to Europe, I just put my dad into a memory care center for Alzheimer's. I spent 1 year flying across the country from LA to Nashville, like every month to visit this man, because I had a feeling that I really needed to just go do what I needed to do. And to be honest, like, he didn't even deserve what I gave him in the end. By the way, look at this backdrop. Mediterranean. I'm not getting on one of these boats, y'all. It's not my budget, but I thought I'd show you some pretty stuff. But anyway, it was important to me that I had forgiven him and actually did want to spend time with him, because once he got Alzheimer's, he wasn't a jerk. He didn't say offensive things anymore, which I actually kind of missed because he was really funny, but he wasn't a jerk, you know? And so I just went and I sat with him for a few days every month, and just because I knew I was leaving. But I didn't want to detour my life and center any of my decisions around a man who had never centered me, his own daughter, right? I don't owe him that. I did that for myself, not really for him, going and visiting him. And I have no regrets. Another decision was my nieces. I love my nieces so much, and I spent so much time flying across the country from LA to Florida, or when I was in New York, from New York to Florida, you know. And I never have paid vacation. I didn't even have paid sick days. I've never had a paid sick day or paid vacation day, except for the 1 year I worked in Spain. So all of that was on my own dime. The flights, the time off, you know, when you wait tables, when you take a week off from waiting tables, that's a lot of money. So not only is it not a paid vacation, it's also not you're actually losing money for every day you don't go. And I knew that I wouldn't be able to see him as much if I moved to, you know, across the ocean. That was a really hard decision for me. But the thing is that what you learn as a single child-free woman, especially once you get into your 40s, and I'm not in my 50s yet, but I'm assuming it just continues, is that, you know, the world moves on. People with kids are overwhelmed, and they're going to center their kids and their family over you. And they won't even let you be as involved in their life as you want to be sometimes. Like, I wanted to be even more involved in my niece's life, but, you know, parents, especially in the United States, they don't have any financial support from the government. Not really. And if you're not rich, it's just impossible. It's impossible. Families are struggling so much. Childcare is so expensive. Every parent I know in the U.S. is so stressed out. I mean, every parent in general is stressed out. When you don't have a social safety net underneath you, they just don't make time for you. Even if you're their aunt, they can't. There's limits. So I started realizing, I'm like, why am I basing my decisions on people who can't meet me halfway? It's not even not wanting to, they can't. And so moving across the ocean, you know, I didn't know I was coming for good. I was kind of hoping I would. Then, you know, I made my life here. I loved it. And then I met my now husband. I'm not leaving here. I love being here. I love being here with him. I love his family. I love the community that I made before I met him. I love the life I built for myself before I met him. So don't you dare move across the world for a man. Please don't do that. You will always lose. Almost always. But now, like that, they came and visited this spring, and I'm sad. I'm sad that I don't get to spend as much time with them, especially the second born. You know, the firstborn, I got like the first 6 years of her life, 5 years of her life. I saw her, you know, a lot for someone who didn't live anywhere near her. But once you move over the country, it's so expensive to go home. I haven't been home in 2 years. And before that, it was over 2 years because of COVID. Now it's like, it's just expensive to go, especially with two of us now. And so I see them once a year because my sister's husband is Greek. And if she wasn't over here visiting his family, like... And so there's a lot of grief involved with that. You can't just tag on to another family. And so if you are a single woman, child-free woman, and especially if you date men, you know you're probably not going to meet a man. Like, I was fully prepared to be a golden girl. I was happy with that. So I decided that I need to start focusing on my community and my friendships more than ever, because as much as I wanted to be an aunt, wanted to be a good daughter, good sister, and all those things, I can't center what their needs or even what I think they need of me over what my heart and my gut tells me I need to do for myself. So I still communicate with my nieces. I send them videos. I'm like, this dude, this is who I am. Aunt Traveling Melanie. I send them video messages all the time. I show them all the places I do this with y'all. Imagine this times like a million. Like, look where I am now. I do the best I can. But I really love my life now because I made a couple really hard decisions based on not centering everyone else. And again, if you're a woman born under patriarchy, you have been taught your whole life to center everyone but yourself. So a lot of us don't even know what we want, what we need, how to take care of ourselves, because we just like martyr ourselves out to everyone else. And you know what that leads you? Resentful. And missing out on things that you truly wanted to do because you wanted to be a good fill in the blank. I show up more authentically in all my relationships. I am a better family member, community member, friend, wife, everything, because I'm learning how to center myself in a system that told me over and over and over and over to center everyone but me. And when you do that, believe it or not, when you center everyone else, you actually end up becoming really selfish in a really messed up codependent way. And you also end up being bitter. And that doesn't really help anyone. So center yourself. You do you, boo.